Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
At the end of June of 2021, last month, there was a terrifying heat wave in North America. It occurred over the western parts of Canada and the US, and it smashed all previously held temperature records in this region. It seemed to be something out of an apocalypse movie, with roads and power lines melting, businesses closing, wildfires getting triggered everywhere, and hundreds of deaths in both countries. Canada recorded an all-time high of 49.6 degrees Celsius in Canada. The country has never crossed the 45-degree mark before this. In just a week, the territory of British Columbia reported over 500 deaths. On Wednesday this week, a new rapid attribution study came out which confirmed the obvious, that this heat wave was extremely unlikely to have occurred without human-induced climate change. In this video, we'll examine this particular heat wave, the unique and interesting weather phenomena behind it, and the devastating effects that it had over North America. I'm Sandhya Ramesh, and this is Pure Science. This heat wave started to approach the Pacific Northwest in the last few days of June. It was in fact triggered by a severe storm in China, of all places. China, the geographic region, not the political country. Here in China, between June 20 and 25, there was a downpour and moist, warm summer air started to rise up. It got sucked into the jet stream and it got transported eastward by the jet stream over the cooler Pacific waters towards North America. Meanwhile, the southwestern parts of North America had actually already been in a state of drought. In early and mid-June, both Canada and US experienced smaller heat waves with temperatures reaching up to 41 degrees in Canada, and at Death Valley in the US, which is one of the hottest places on earth, it had already touched 53 degrees. This drought was also starting to move towards the northwest. So there were these two waves of heat coming in, so to say, and they basically caused a weather block. In meteorology, this is often called a Rex block. What this does is it maintains the same temperature in the blocked high pressure region for several days in a row. High pressure, heat, and blockage. What does that remind us of? If you thought pressure cooker, you are absolutely correct. What ends up happening in situations like this is a phenomenon called a heat dome. In a heat dome, the high pressure forces air to keep circulating downwards. But air that is warmer is at the top, and downward movement causes pressure and compression of air, and this heats up the entire air column. Warm air does attempt to rise up, but the high pressure forces it down, and this air keeps getting denser and hotter. On top of that, there are katabatic winds or downslope winds that came in from the Cascade mountain ranges, which sit on the coast of Canada. This downward air also rushed in here, and it was dry air. At the same time, while all of this was going on, there is also increased heat coming in from the sun. This heat and light coming in from the sun was also getting trapped in this region because of high pressure and greenhouse effect, and it was effectively basically like putting a lid on top of this entire region and heating it from all sides. So basically like being inside a geographical pressure cooker. Inside this heat dome, of course, humans and animals face all of the effects of this high pressure and heat, but other things do too, like infrastructure. Infrastructure does get damaged. So do plants. This kind of dry heat, in fact, raises the risk of wildfires from many sources, and especially lightning. And wildfires raged all over during this heat wave. Over 110 wildfires were recorded just in the British Columbia region in Canada alone. When we say global temperatures are rising, we don't just mean temperature at the surface of Earth or on the ground. Global heating warms up the entire lower atmosphere of the Earth too, which is the troposphere. This entire troposphere extends up to 10 kilometers and gets warm. Naturally, this warms mountain tops and melts snow. We know that when snow melts, there is less sunlight reflected. Furthermore, it exposes the darker rocky ground underneath, which is more efficient at absorbing sunlight, and the ground warms even faster. Snow melting is always a feedback loop that accelerates heating, and mountain tops are some of the fastest warming regions all over the planet. So the downward dry air from the mountains contributed to the heat dome, which in turn heated up the mountains even more, melting more snow. Naturally, as snow melts, the water has to go somewhere, so large parts of Canada was under flood warning for a long period of time. Many parts of Canada did have to deal with snow melt flooding, where territories were getting flooded under clear skies and pleasant weather, followed by little floods from rain as well. A case study in all of this is the town of Lytton in British Columbia. For 3 consecutive days, from June 27 to 29, in the middle of the heat dome, Lytton broke all temperature records and ultimately hit 49.6 degrees. The excessive hot and dry conditions naturally sparked wildfires. On the 30th of June, a day after the temperature record, a wildfire spread so fast that nearly 90% of the entire village of Lytton got wiped out in just mere minutes. There were also deaths. Evacuation orders were signed in for about the 250 residents or so of the town, and the fire that destroyed the town was over 80 square kilometers in size. Following this, there were flood warnings because the Fraser River runs through the town of Lytton and there was excess snowmelt. The World Weather Attribution is an international collaboration to study and monitor the effects of climate change on extreme weather events. The organization performed a rapid analysis of all the climatic conditions that led to this heat wave and compared it with historical records, and they concluded that the human-induced greenhouse gas emissions and anthropogenic global heating made this event 150 times more likely to occur. This likely would not happen at all had there been no human-induced climate change. This is not at all surprising. This heat wave made June of 2021 the hottest in North America, and we can now observe with each passing year and each passing month that we are breaking global temperature records. Rising temperatures is a feedback loop and causes temperatures to rise faster more, which manifests in many direct and indirect ways. These include natural catastrophic disasters and threat to food security, and also water wars. Because of this, climate scientists are now urging people to start preparing very urgently for more extreme weather events that are likely to occur in the immediate future, and these will of course include terrible heat waves like this. Many scientists believe that we will cross the 2-degree temperature rise in just about 20 more years or so in the 2040s, after which events like this are expected to become increasingly commonplace all around the world.